Blake Lively, Deposition, pages 59 to 61. Because he told me that he was rewriting the script. Were you also? And had almost entirely rewritten it. I'm sorry, and had almost entirely rewritten it. In April of 2023, were you also rewriting the script? Hudson, objection. Can you be more specific with the timing? Sure. At any time in April of 2023, did you work on a rewrite of the script? Yes. After the events that I just described to you, yes. In April of 2023, had you read the novel It Ends With Us? No, I told Justin about my process very early on. What do you mean by that? I mean that I have adapted. I've been a part of book to film adaptations in many circumstances. And sometimes there are times where I've read the book in advance, and there are times where I haven't and I found that what works better for me is to not read the book in advance because it's hard for me to see the blind spots in the film because you can't unlearn what you know from a book. You can't fill in story or character holes from what you know from a book. So I like to look at the film as its own piece to make sure that it works on its own. In April of 2023, did you know that there were sex scenes in the novel It Ends With Us? Yes. And did you know what sex scenes there were? I don't understand your question. Sure. The book It Ends With Us has sex scenes within the book, correct? Hudson, objection. I believe so, yes. You're not sure though, right? I know there are sex scenes in the book, yes. Did you read the book? No. How do you know that there are sex scenes in the book? Because I was told. Who told you that? I have since read. I just want to be more specific with the timing because you said, did you read the book? Are we talking about April of 2023? What time period are we talking about? We're talking about any time. I have since read many chunks of the book. When you say chunks, what parts of the book did you read? The Rooftops section, and I don't remember specifically which other sections. It was usually descriptive. When did you read the part of the book that had the rooftop scene? Spring of 24. Had you already rewritten the rooftop scene by the spring of 24? Yes. Did you read the sex scenes in the book It Ends With Us? Hudson, objection. I don't recall. Do you know how many sex scenes there were? Moving on to pages 63 to 64. Yes. And in terms of the additional sex scenes, which ones were those? We're narrowing it just to sex scenes. I just want to be clear about the way I described it, which was sex scenes and gratuitous elements within those scenes and others. So do you mind asking the question again? Sure. What do you mean by gratuitous elements? The adding of explicit descriptives or scenes that weren't initially intended to be scenes that contained any aspect of intimacy now containing that? As you sit here today, can you recall which ones those were? I remember a few, yeah. Okay, which ones do you remember? I remember a scene that was supposed to be the character of Lily visiting Ryle in a hospital as he tended to a child with, I believe, brain cancer, and her observing him kindly and then inviting him to dinner with her mom, becoming a scene in which Lily pulls him into a medical closet and starts role-playing naughty doctor with him as she invites him to dinner, asking him to, I don't remember the literal words, but examine her. I remember the description of Cunnilingus, the inference being an important element, and see Lily's face as she experienced the pleasure, and I remember Lily and Ryle climaxing at the same time together on their wedding night. And those were all added in there after the script that you had reviewed when you agreed to do the film, is that correct? Yes. And at some point, did an intimacy coordinator go over some of those scenes with you and ask whether you were comfortable with them or not? That would not be standard at that point in production, in my experience in over 20 years. At some point, did you express or cross out the Cunnilingus scenes? Hudson, objection. I expressed discomfort with the sexual additions. Did you have reason to believe that those were added to the scene not for a creative reason? Moving on to pages 66 to 67. These additional gratuitous scenes, is that correct? Yes. Did you know whether or not those were creative decisions that were made to add those into the script? Hudson, objection. If you're asking if upon reading, is that the timing? Yes. And then what's the question? The question is, did you know whether they were added because it was a creative decision that was added that would make, in Justin's opinion, the film better? Or did you believe that they were just added because he wanted to just add a bunch of sex scenes in there? Hudson, objection. I wasn't sure. Did you ask him? Did I ask him what? Did you ask him whether he added those gratuitously so that he could have more sex in this scene and to make it offensive towards you? Or was this a creative decision that he made? Hudson, objection. I don't remember what. I don't remember what was asked specifically. I do remember expressing concerns with the additions, and I also remember expressing understanding if that was the film he needed to make creatively, and if what he wanted to make now was different than what I had thought we were making. I understood if he needed to work with someone else, and I offered that. When you said you expressed concerns, who did you express those to? Justin Baldoni. And when did you express that to him? After reading those pages, we had a meeting. Where did the meeting take place? At my office? The office in the apartment? Yeah. This is a different one, but yes. Do you recall the date of that meeting? I don't. How long did that meeting last? I don't remember. Do you remember specifically what you...